From its invention to its rise in mainstream popularity, the microwave has been a staple appliance in most homes around the world, and designers have been fighting tooth and nail over where this thing should be placed in the kitchen. What if I could settle the score and decide once and for all, finally, where this little nuke box should be located? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do, and in this video we're talking about 10 places in your kitchen that you can install the microwave, and I will finally shut these designers up. Actually, no one's really fighting about this, it just sets up the video better. Number one, and the easiest method for installing your microwave, and actually one of my favorites, now designers are gonna be shooting me for saying this, is on the countertop. You just plop it there and away you go. And there's a few reasons why I like this. Firstly, it's just at a really good height. It's at waist level. There's already a landing surface right there in front of you and beside you and all around that you can take whatever it is that's coming out of your microwave and place it down. So it's very safe and it's easy to access. And the second reason I like it here is because it's super easy. You just place it there, plug it in, you're good to go. You don't need to buy any kind of kit to go around it, to frame it in. Now, some of the downsides, of course, is a lot of people don't like seeing a microwave, and if it's on your countertop, it's going to be quite visible. And it takes up space, which can be a no-no in a small kitchen. But if your kitchen's large enough and you have enough counter space, prep space, and landing areas for everything else, then there's no reason why your countertop microwave can't be placed on your countertop instead of some other location. And if something ever happens to it, it's easy to replace. You don't have to find another microwave that fits the exact opening from a previously installed microwave in some other location in your kitchen. A base cabinet is a great location for a microwave because it's tucked out of the way, especially if it's in an island facing the inside of the kitchen. That's a great location. Super easy to access. And if you get a microwave that opens down an oven door style, you have a platform that you can pull out food before you place it on a countertop to make sure you have a good grip on it and that you're not going to burn yourself. And because it's tucked inside a base cabinet, then it's out of the line of sight usually, so you don't have to be looking at it. One of the bigger complaints with microwaves is that they're just not that nice to look at. It's kind of like dishwashers that don't have panels on them. Michael from Kitchen Cider. Some of the drawbacks, of course, is that if you have to bend down and that's a problem for you, then the microwave in a base cabinet might not be the best solution. But if you don't mind bending slightly, it's a pretty good location. Also, some people might complain that if they have toddlers around, pushing buttons and getting at the microwave probably isn't something they want to encourage them to do. And so in this situation, you might want to consider moving your microwave to a different place. And a microwave takes up quite a bit of space in a cabinet, no matter where you put it. And so in a base, that could be 2 drawers. It could be something else that you need for storage or some other type of functional use. And so that discussion needs to be had of what am I losing by putting the microwave here and what am I gaining? We'll get my least favorite out of the way right now. Everybody knows what it is if you've watched my channel at all. You know that I'm not a fan of an OTR microwave, but we will talk about some of the pros because there are some. An OTR microwave means over the range. It's the microwave that you see in a lot of kitchens these days because for a long time they've been super popular for a couple reasons. One, they also have an included vent hood, which you're getting 2 appliances in one. You're getting something that ventilates your range and your microwave's right there all in one place. So if you don't have room anywhere else in your kitchen, having an OTR microwave might be a good decision for you because it already has a predetermined location. Venting on these leaves a little bit to be desired, so I do suggest that you have it vented outside. And one of the pros with this is that if your microwave breaks or your vent hood breaks in that unit, to replace that unit is fairly easy. Almost all of these units are the exact same size to fit the exact same space in all these homes, so you won't have any trouble trying to find something that fits the space that your pre-existing OTR was located in. And they're getting better at making different types of models. There's smaller models that are a little more sleeker. They have ones with pull-out vent hood things that help you capture more of the steam. A couple of things I don't like about it is basically it's not that nice to look at. I think its location is not the best. It's over your range. There could be hot stuff there. You're trying to reach for something hot. It just could be a bad situation. Plus, depending on the type of range you have, dropping something from your microwave onto that range, probably not something you want to do. So I think that could be a problem for some consumers. Though I will be honest, when I had one, I've never dropped anything out of it, so that wasn't a big deal, but it could have been a big deal. I'm just saying. Basically, I think it looks gross. I don't think it looks good at all. We're used to seeing it, but that doesn't mean it's nice looking, so I'm sorry if I don't like it. If you have one, listen, no big deal. I've had one before. I've put them in lots of kitchens. It's just that I just don't like them, and that's just my opinion. Another very standard way that you can install a microwave is to put it inside a wall cabinet. Now, Mark, what's the difference between putting it in a wall cabinet and putting it over your range? Well, usually with a wall cabinet, you can have it lowered. When I would design a kitchen, the wall cabinets, if they were 30-inch high or 36-inch high, the one for the microwave would come down lower. So it would finish lower than all the other cabinets, and that would make it easier to access for someone standing in front of it, making it so that you don't have to travel too far down to your countertop. Plus, if you drop something on a countertop, generally it's not going to be as damaging as if you drop something onto your range. I mean, it will be damaging for the thing you're dropping, but not for what you're dropping it on. There's lots of different ways you can do this and lots of applications. Sometimes you can just take a regular countertop microwave and put it on a microwave shelf. That's the easiest thing to do. But you can also have it so it's built in, there's a trim kit around it, and it looks more finished with the rest of the kitchen. And I think this is a pretty good option for most consumers. It keeps it off the countertop. It's not too high, it's not too low. It's a pretty good mix and a pretty good spot for the location of your microwave. And with all of these locations, it does take up a particular amount of space in that cabinet. And so you have to weigh the pros against the cons on what would go there if there wasn't a microwave. And if you had a smaller kitchen, maybe there wouldn't be a great location for this type of application. But if you have a quite large kitchen or a medium-sized kitchen, you have a cabinet that you can spare and put a microwave in, this would be a pretty good place to install it. A pantry is a great place for a microwave to be installed as well. One of the reasons I love the pantry is that you have the option to make the installation height whatever you want. So you can put it at the most convenient place for you. And if there's ample landing space around that pantry, then this is a pretty good location. This location is good for an oven door style microwave as well, because the landing area is created by the door when it flips down. Now you need a larger pantry for this. It's not going to fit in an 18-inch wide or a narrower pantry. Usually the pantries for a microwave are about 30 inches or could be bigger than that, because by the time you put a trim kit on it and get the microwave to fit in there, that's around the size that you're going to be. And it might be your only pantry and you don't want to waste that space for a microwave, so it might not be the best location. There's always a trade-off between the space that's needed for a microwave and what that space could otherwise be used for. And this next way is similar to the pantry location, but it would be installed above a wall oven. Since most of that cabinet is taken up by this wall oven, having a little more space taken up by a microwave above it might not be that bad of an idea. That way everything's in one spot, it looks cohesive, there's trim kits around everything, and it looks as if those things almost belong together. Now your installation height will be determined by where your oven is placed. Personally, I think the height of the wall oven is more important than the height of the microwave, so the placement of the microwave will be determined by the height that you install the wall oven. So that's a bit of a downfall. If you want the microwave to be placed in a particular location, it might not be possible. This also works good if you have a combo unit or matching units, so your wall oven and your microwave are the same brand and they match perfectly with nice matching trim kits. This can be a great option if you go that way. If you're looking for an option that's very sleek and very modern, a drawer microwave might be something you'd be interested in. Now, of course, you're limited to where this can be located. It has to be in a base cabinet or possibly the lower part of a pantry, but it can't be anywhere up high. Well, I guess it could be, but it might be silly, because you have to reach down into the microwave, at least the ones I've seen, and pull out the hot dish instead of sliding it out from a door. When it's in a base cabinet, you can just pick it up, put it on the countertop. It's pretty easy to operate. I've only installed a few of them in the kitchens that I've ever done, and so I don't have an extensive knowledge on their operational prowess, but from what I heard, the people who've had them like them. They're going to be a little pricier than a regular countertop microwave, but it's something worth checking out if you don't mind spending a few more dollars on something that looks very sleek, very modern, and yeah, I don't know why else you'd buy that. My real concern with a drawer microwave is the quality of the hardware of the drawer mechanism itself. Not the microwave, not any of the logistics of taking something out. When you're designing a kitchen, you want to make sure your hardware is really good quality, because those are the moving parts. And so if the moving parts on a drawer microwave are going to break easier than just a simple hinge, because how often have you broken the door in your microwave? Probably some of you, but probably not a lot. My concern is that this mechanism will break over time quicker than just a regular hinge door would. And these things are expensive, and it's probably not even under warranty if you break that or something crazy like that. So just be careful when you're buying these, that you really, if you're spending the money on these, get a good quality one and spend a little more money to make sure that everything about it is really well constructed, and try not to spend it on a cheaper model, less expensive model, because that usually means that the interior parts might just be inferior. That's my 2 cents on that. Another great location and kind of a hybrid is placing a microwave in an appliance garage. Because the microwave will probably be placed on top of the countertop in most situations. Sometimes this can be in a corner, sometimes it can be just in a regular wall cabinet, but generally speaking, you'd have doors that cover it. They could be pocket doors, sliding doors, up and down doors, horizontal doors, lots of different doors that can cover it, but it's a great solution if you want to have a countertop installation, but you don't want to see the microwave. It can be hidden behind doors. Similar pros and cons to having a countertop microwave. It's taking up that space that you otherwise could use for something else. But generally, if this is done in a corner, that corner space is maybe deeper and not going to be used for a lot of other things, so that could be a good location. When you install a microwave in an appliance garage or a wall cabinet, the actual cabinet has to be deeper because a microwave is generally deeper than a regular wall cabinet. And so the location really depends on what's around it and whether or not it's going to fit in. Usually, if it's right next to a range adjacent to it, it doesn't work because it sticks out so far. It doesn't make sense in the design. It doesn't look that great. But if it's tucked against a wall, against a pantry, or some other unit that's deeper, this is the best location. So with an appliance garage, if it's just plopped in the middle of a countertop somewhere, obviously that's not going to make sense. But if it's in a corner or against a pantry or in a location where the depth doesn't matter, then that's where you should be looking to put it. If your kitchen is super small, you don't have room anywhere for a microwave. You can't put it above your range even. Well, then a rolling cart might be the option for you. Just put your little microwave on a rolling cart, roll it in and out, plug it in. This is actually a really good option for a lot of people. It's not a permanent installation. You don't have to look at it. It's tucked away somewhere else in a closet in your bedroom. Who cares? As long as you don't have to see it in your kitchen, you roll it in when you need it and bammo, you can use it like that. Is this inconvenient? Maybe, but it might be a good solution if you have just a small space, a small kitchen, and you don't want to take up any room for a microwave, but you still want to have one. And another great solution if you don't want to see the microwave and you have one of these is to install it in your walk-in pantry or your butler's pantry or a larder or whatever you want to call it. This is a great spot to place it. It's usually with other small appliances and it's in a place where all kind of the dirty work can get done and then the kitchen can look a little more pristine so that you don't see all of these things. And then it doesn't matter really its location. You can put it wherever you think is the most convenient. Usually in this type of location, it's just placed on a countertop because I think that is the best location in terms of height for a microwave. So in a pantry, this would make a lot of sense. If you're walking in there, use the thing, get out of there. Here's your dish. Now, there is something that should be considered when you're placing a microwave anywhere in a kitchen, and that is its location in relation to the fridge. Usually these two things work in tandem together because what you take out of the fridge is usually cold and you need to put it in the microwave. And so having those things located in a kind of zone is a good idea. It's not an absolute. It's just something that should be considered functionally. However, depending on the size of the kitchen, you might not care if you have to walk a few feet with something cold from your fridge to put it in your microwave. But generally speaking, when I design a kitchen, I try to think about how that will work. Now, it might not work visually. There might not be space around the fridge. And so if that's the case, don't be too caught up with, oh, it needs to be close to the fridge. It doesn't actually need to be close to the fridge. It's just a consideration. And one of my pet peeves with a microwave is that they're all hinged left. I've never seen a right-hinged microwave. Have you? I don't know. But because of this, then its location is determined by its door hinging, because if you need something to open to the right, you're not going to be able to find that. That always bothered me with a microwave, except for the ones that pull down like an oven door. So just think about that, its location and how that door swings. And if it's in a pantry and it's on the right, then the door swings out left. It just might be a weird location for it. Now, the problem with telling you where the perfect location is I'm going to get some comments disagreeing with me. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. Just be nice about it. But a base cabinet installation in an island, the way I have it, is the best place to install your microwave. Hands down, end of all debate, it's over. But seriously, put it wherever you want, as long as it works for you and your family and it's functional in your kitchen and you like it. By all means, that's the best location that there is. Before we even talk about microwaves, we should really figure out, can you even design a kitchen? Take this test to find out how you score. Are you a noob? Are you a pro? Somewhere in the middle? This is really going to sift out who is even responsible enough to put a microwave in a kitchen in the first place. We'll see you soon.